If you have ever had a situation where you wake up at 3 a.m. or 3:05, I've heard some people say 2:45, and you're just like staring at the ceiling, wondering what is going on, and you are having a hard time falling back asleep, this video is for you, especially if you're someone in your 40s or 50s and you're a woman. And so, what are we going to be talking about today? We're going to be talking about sleep issues in women in perimenopause and menopause. Now, why is this important? Because I have heard so much from so many of you saying, well, sometimes my mind is not even racing, and it's almost like clockwork at 3 a.m. I actually just have a hard time falling asleep or falling back asleep. I don't actually have any trouble falling asleep at the beginning of the night. In fact, I'm so exhausted. And now I'm waking up at 3 a.m. and it's this repeated cycles, and I literally hate my life. Hang in there. Today, I'm going to help you to understand the root cause of those 3 a.m. wake ups. Now, there are a whole host of reasons why it's happening. It may be bad sleep hygiene, it may be alcohol, but we're actually going to be talking about the things that are directly related to those hormone changes, right? You've probably heard, yeah, I was told it's my hormones, and so I need to suck it up. No, absolutely not. And I'm here to tell you that there are evidence-based solutions that can actually work for you, and you do not have to live your life miserable because you're in perimenopause and you're having hormonal changes. So very important. Now, if you do not follow me, you need to subscribe to this channel. I'm Dr. Funke Afolabi-Brown, and I talk all things sleep because I believe that when we make sleep a thing, we thrive. All right, let's get started. The first thing that I want you to understand is that with sleep in perimenopause, yes, your hormones are changing. Most people just say hormones. What hormones? Well, there are two main hormones. I mean, there's a whole host of hormones that are making transitions during this stage, but I'm focusing on two right now. One of them is estrogen and the other one is progesterone. And the root causes I'm going to be talking about today is going to focus specifically on the impact of those hormones on your sleep. So number one, I want to tell you is your sleep architecture actually changes in perimenopause. What does that mean? Well, what is sleep architecture? Sleep architecture is really just the way your sleep is built. So this is how sleep goes. You are awake, right? And then you get drowsy. Then you get into light sleep, deep sleep, REM sleep. You kind of cycle back. Maybe you wake up a little bit, and then you sort of connect those cycles and continue to sleep. Okay, that's what everybody's sleep cycle looks like, right? And you have the sleep cycles lasting maybe about 90 minutes or so in adults. What happens as you are going through perimenopause, this stage of life, this incredible stage of life? What you will observe, what happens is that you spend less time in deep sleep. You'll start to spend more time in light sleep. And so what happens if you're in light sleep? If you hear something, if something changes in your environment, you're going to be more likely to wake up, right? So that's one big thing. Your sleep architecture changes. And this is so important because everybody wakes up in the middle of the night. That's the thing I want you to also understand. Most people are like, why am I waking up? Well, because you're normal. Waking up is not the issue. It's the staying awake and not being able to fall back asleep. That's when we start to say, okay, maybe something else is going on. And when it comes to this stage of life in your 40s, your 50s, with your hormonal fluctuations, this is something that you'll notice. Your sleep architecture is actually changing. So being aware of that is going to make sure that you're not caught off guard. Number two root cause of your sleep issues for waking up at 3 a.m., for my 3 a.m. clubbers, that's the club nobody wants to be a part of, right? Is that you have temperature dysregulation. What does that mean? It means your temperature, your body temperature is fluctuating. Why is that? There is that hormone estrogen. And one of the things that it does, among the amazing things that estrogen does, is that it helps with stabilizing our internal thermostat, right? And so with declining estrogen, what is happening is that you will find yourself maybe having changes, right? You suddenly feel very hot or you suddenly feel very cold. That thermostat is changing, it's fluctuating. And so imagine that you're sleeping, right? Even if you're not having like full-blown hot flashes or full-blown like drenching night sweats, which can happen. You may just notice a sudden drastic change where you're moving from suddenly very cold to suddenly very hot, or suddenly very hot to suddenly very cold. Guess what that's going to do? It's going to wake you up, because that discomfort, that erratic thermostat, I would say, is something that's going to help make you very uncomfortable. And so you'll hear people talk about cooling blankets, cooling sheets, getting a fan. All those things is to really help you optimize those fluctuations. Or you see people wearing heavy blankets to go to sleep, and all of a sudden they're throwing everything off in the middle of the night. Those temperature changes are contributing to your 3 a.m. wake up. Number 3 is that you get a shift in your cortisol timing. What is cortisol? That's the stress hormone. That's really something that our body needs to help us get ready for the day. What's the natural cycle of cortisol? It starts to drop in the evening, drops in the night, and then somewhere maybe around 4 a.m. or so, it's supposed to start picking up, or 5 a.m. It's supposed to start picking up so that you kind of start to wake up and get ready for the day. Here's what happens during perimenopause and menopause. There's actually a shift whereby your cortisol timing sort of starts to become earlier and earlier. This is sort of the changes that we start to see. I see it in a lot of the women that I work with. Now, what happens to that shift? Imagine that stress hormone that's supposed to tell you to get ready coming up at 3 a.m. Now you're going to wake up. And guess what you're going to wake up with? You're going to wake up with maybe a racing heart, maybe some anxiety, maybe some mind racing, because your brain is telling you it's time to go, it's time to go, it's time to go. So that cortisol timing shift will contribute to a 3 a.m. wake up. I want to tell you that you probably haven't heard of a lot of these things, because most people will tell you, oh, it's just your hormones. But I'm really delving into this detail because I want you to understand where these changes are coming from. When you understand it, then you know how to get the help you need. So that's number 3, right? Number 4, I want to tell you about progesterone. Woohoo! Listen, progesterone is a hormone that your body produces, and it's almost like nature's Xanax. It is a calming and sedating hormone, right? Now you're going through perimenopause. There's fluctuations and decreasing levels of progesterone. What does that mean? You don't feel as calm. You don't feel as sedated. And so what you will notice is that ability to kind of smoothing out your sleep, right? Where you're able to have more sort of continuous sleep without big wake ups, that's gone. And so you may notice that because of the declining progesterone, you're more sensitive to internal and external stimuli. So maybe you had a spouse that's been snoring all their life. All of a sudden it's annoying you because you're more sensitive. Maybe there's a light that's coming in. Now it's waking you up. Maybe there's noise outside. And previously you would literally sleep through anything. Think about your teenager, right? They have high levels of those hormones, right? They're sleeping through anything, right? So now you're sort of on the opposite end. Now you're like, I'm hearing everything. Everything wakes me up. I sleep very lightly because you're having declining levels of progesterone. So that's something that's really a big culprit. Number 5 is the fact that your sleep pressure or your sleep drive actually changes with this hormonal shift in perimenopause. What does that mean? Your sleep drive is the propensity or the likelihood of you starting to feel sleepy as your day is going on. So typically, you've woken up in the morning, you had hopefully a decent night of sleep. You won't be sleepy, at about 9 a.m. You're probably going to be sleepy later in the day, right? Because your sleep pressure builds up. Now, when you have changes in the progesterone, estrogen, all those things changing during perimenopause, what is going on? Your pressure builds, but it dissipates very quickly. So what does that mean? This is where I want you to lean in. Remember, I told you we're talking 3 a.m. wake-ups. And I've done quite a number of videos also on, if you're having a hard time falling asleep. You fall asleep because you're exhausted, right? Your sleep drive is high. For Pete's sakes, you've been waking up at 3 a.m. for the last month. So of course you're exhausted at 9 p.m. You could barely keep your eyes open at 8:30, right? And then you suddenly, 3 a.m., you wake up because your sleep drive goes up. As soon as you go to sleep, your sleep drive is supposed to sort of go down over the course of the night. But with these hormonal changes, your sleep drive drops very rapidly. And so you're done. There's not a drive left. And guess what's left? The cortisol, the low progesterone. Now you're up and you're figuring out what to do to your life. So These are the 5 root causes that are directly related to these hormonal changes. I did not talk about sleep disorders here at all, but that's a whole video that I'm going to do, that I'm going to be delving into. But I want you to understand, when people tell you it's your hormones, this is exactly what is going on. So what are you not to do? I do not want you checking your clock. You wake up at 3 a.m. How do you know it's 3 a.m.? Because you've been watching your clock. Now, get it. For now, you're a member of the 3 a.m. clock, 3 a.m. club. It doesn't matter. You don't need to keep checking the clock and doing mathematics and getting stressed and frustrated, because checking the clock only leads to more frustration. You know, you're a member of the 3 a.m. club. There's no point checking the time. It's only going to lead to more frustration. Don't check the clock. It leads to more stress, sleep-related anxiety. Number 2, do not just lay there in bed staring at the ceiling, tossing and turning and worrying and stressing. That makes your sleep-related anxiety even worse. Number 3, do not start your day at 3 a.m. Please don't do that. I know you're like, okay, I'm a busy woman. I need to get on with my day. I might as well start. Don't do that, because you're going to reinforce to your brain that waking up at 3 a.m. is normal. It is not normal, right? It is not normal. Don't start your day. Do not do that. We will talk through strategies that you can do. Not lay in bed, maybe get out of bed, do something calming and relaxing, and try to return back to bed, because at some point sleep will come back. And then number 4, please, please, please don't just rely on supplements and sleep aids without addressing the root cause. This is what I have seen so many times in my practice, and this is why I am doing this video, to say, please don't just think, okay, I'm just going to grab a supplement, I'm just going to grab a sleep aid, I'm just going to start sleep medications, without dealing with the root cause. There are actual things going on that you need to address beyond just, putting a band-aid of a sleep aid on top. So we've talked about so many things today, and let me recap 5 root causes that are directly related to your 3 a.m. wake-ups if you're a woman in your 40s, changes in your sleep architecture, temperature dysregulation, cortisol timing is shifting, declining progesterone is leading to you to wake up more, and then your sleep pressure is changing. And then we talked about the things to not do. I'm going to be doing the next video, which is what I want you to watch next, which is the things that you should be doing that would help you to regain your sleep back if you are in the 3 a.m. club. So absolutely stay tuned to make sure you watch that. And if you're looking for someone who can help you in this holistic fashion, helping you to identify the root cause and giving you your sleep confidence back, then schedule a call with us, schedule an appointment to come see us at the Restful Sleep Place. We have sleep solutions that are evidence-based for women in perimenopause, for women in menopause, and for families. And we would love to partner with you. You could check out our website at www.therestfulsleepplace.com. Share this video with a woman in your world. This actually might change her life. And until next time, I hope you rest well.